Have you ever looked back and realized, damn, I wasted so much time and energy chasing or wanting something that just didn't matter? For me, I've learned more from my mistakes than I have my successes. And if I could sit across from my 20-year-old self, I wouldn't tell him everything was going to be okay. I would tell him the brutal truths that are hard to hear. These are the brutal truths that would have saved me time, they would have saved me pain, and they would have saved me regret. Unfortunately, I can't go back and talk to 20-year-old me, but I can tell you. And for the record, these are in no particular order. It's kind of like just a brain dump. Things that I've been thinking about that I want you to know, or I should say, I wish I knew. Number one is that people don't care about you. They don't care about your successes. They also don't care about your problems. All right? Now, I know that this sounds a little bit harsh, but it was one of the most liberating things that honestly would have freed me from a lot of anxiety and a lot of basically trying to live for something that I shouldn't have been living for, which is other people's opinion. They don't care about you. They're not thinking about you the way that you think that they are. And if they are, or their opinion of you is something that's holding you back from doing or achieving or going after your dreams, you are wasting so much energy and so much time, because the truth is they aren't worried about you and you shouldn't worry about them. Number two is pretty, it will fade. Character, it lasts a lifetime. We got to stop giving pretty people a pass. In my earlier years, I would see somebody that was attractive or had a great body or was jacked, and I thought that they were better just because they looked a certain way. I've come to realize that looks truly do not matter in that capacity, but we as a society give pretty people a pass. And unfortunately, there are a lot of pretty people that are doing some horrible things, and you've just got to be aware that character is really the thing you need to focus on. You know, you also need to focus on number three, which is it doesn't matter how hot somebody is. If they are not a good person and not right for you, you need to get away from them. And this was something that I learned the hard way. I dated somebody that was definitely not right for me, and it caused a lot of anxiety, it caused a lot of pain, and I just wasted so much time. Gentlemen, I would rather be alone than with the wrong person. You've got to understand that. Just because it's comfortable, just because you don't want to hurt their feelings, doesn't mean you don't need to do the hard work and the thing that's really required, which is you to be happy. And sometimes it means you've got to break up with somebody or get away from them, which brings me to the next hard truth. Just because you want to be friends with somebody or want somebody to trust you or respect you or be around you doesn't mean that they want you the same way you want them. We, unfortunately, focus and fixate a lot on what we want, even when the writing is on the wall and people are not reciprocating that feeling. You've got to stop chasing and you've got to start looking for the people that truly want to be with you and truly want to be and have your best interest in mind. The next thing I just want to mention is that people don't change. Truly, they don't change. And so the more time and energy you spend trying to fix them or change them or get them to love you or treat you the way that you want to be treated or loved, you are absolutely wasting your time. The next thing is that people will tell you who they are, but you've got to listen. And this, once again, was one of those harsh truths that I had to learn the hard way. You know, if somebody's treating you poorly, if they're not respecting you, if they're doing you wrong, they're telling you and showing you who they are and how they feel about you. It may not be pleasant to feel, it may not be pleasant to realize this, and it may be hard, right? It is going to be hard. But until you understand that and get away from them and realize that they are not worth your time because you are amazing, you're going to waste so many years, you're going to be heartbroken, and you're going to lose so many potential good opportunities with amazing people. The next thing I just want you to know and hear is that you are fucking amazing. If nobody's told you that today, I want to be the one. Because there's so much unlimited potential in you. I think you are incredible. But you've got to believe it for yourself, which is the next hard truth that I had to learn that I wish I knew back then, and that is I'm awesome. I am an amazing person. I deserve the best, but I only deserve what I am willing to work for and willing to do, which brings me to the next harsh truth. The sooner you face your demons, the sooner you're going to get on with being happy and living your best life. For me, I harbored and held on to so much anxiety and resentment because of my childhood that it prevented me from truly living my purpose and living my best life. And when I was finally willing to stand there and fight and do the hard work, which was therapy for me, and have hard conversations with people that I need to have them with, and forgive people that honestly probably didn't deserve to be forgiven, but you do it because it's what you need to do in order to have peace and move forward. Gentlemen, real quick, before I move on with this list, I just want to mention BetterHelp. They are today's video sponsor. I personally feel like every single person can benefit drastically and dramatically from therapy. For me, it was the point in my life where everything started to get better. I spent a lot of time running. I spent a lot of time self-medicating. I was drinking. I was doing drugs. I was basically trying to numb the pain and run from the demons that I had. But when I finally was able to basically talk to somebody, drop the act and get honest and real and get the tools that I needed in order to basically become happy and whole, I stopped running. I stopped fighting and I stopped basically the self-destruction. Gentlemen, BetterHelp is an incredible online resource. I'm going to link to them down below. If you go through my special link, you're going to get a discount, 10% off your first month of therapy. Way that it works, super simple. You go through my link, you answer a few questions. The questions are basically designed to help match you with a therapist that's going to be best suited for you, given your specific needs. All right? It's not a one-stop shop. Everybody doesn't have the same needs or the same issues. All right, and this is why BetterHelp really does an incredible job matching you with an incredible therapist. Now, the cool thing is that usually you're going to be able to start communicating within a few days, and you can have therapy any way that it's most convenient for you, whether or not it's phone, it's chat, or it's the computer. Basically, they're going to make sure that you are comfortable, which is something else that BetterHelp does better, in my opinion, than most people. You know, I have done in-person therapy where I went in and I sat across from somebody. Right? BetterHelp for me was so much more comfortable. And honestly, when you're comfortable, you're going to be more open, more vulnerable, and you're going to basically get more out of therapy. The other thing that I love about BetterHelp, they allow you to change therapists at no additional cost. Therapy can be a bit like dating, right? You meet somebody and sometimes it's magic, first time, right? But sometimes you might need to try or change in order to find that perfect person. BetterHelp allows you to change at no additional charge. BetterHelp is convenient, it is affordable, and they are here to help. BetterHelp's mission is to help start making therapy as easy and convenient as possible, and I absolutely love their service, and I know that you're going to love it too. Gentlemen, I've got a special link down below. Get started today if you truly want to live your best life. The sooner you start, the better you're going to be, and the sooner you're going to start living your best life and get happy. Guys, the link down below, betterhelp.com/alpha-M, that's BetterHelp.com/alpha-M. If you go through my link, you're going to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Which brings me to the next brutal truth, and that is nobody is coming to save you other than you. Not your mom, your dad, your weird Uncle Barry, your girl, your friends. Nobody's job is to help you realize your potential. Nobody's job is to help you get motivated. Nobody's job is to help give you money to survive. If you want it, you got to make it happen. It's on you. And that's something else that so many men learn way too late. They wait, right? Or they put it off, which brings me to something else that I just thought about. And that is a lot of times planning and preparing is disguise and code for procrastination, right? You're putting it off. You're putting off doing that thing that you've been wanting to do, thinking, oh, if I just plan a little bit more, I'm not ready yet, but soon I'm going to read one more self-help book. I'm going to talk to one more person. I'm going to get a little bit more feedback. No, what you're doing is simply procrastination. If you want something, now is the time for you to get off your ass and do it. The other thing you're going to realize is that perfection is a myth. No matter how much you plan, no matter how much you prepare, you're still going to fuck it up a lot of times. Or you're still going to have to change it or do it again, or modify how you did it. If you want to do it, now is the time. There is no better time. Speed is better than perfection. And speed is one of those things, a lot of times when it comes to life, that is a superpower. If you cannot overthink something and just execute and act, you're going to be able to figure it out along the way. The next brutal truth is that failure, it is inevitable. It is inevitable. You are not going to be successful the first time you try. If you are, you didn't try hard enough, honestly, or you're not competing against people that are actually viable competitors. You need to understand that failure is part of the process. It is one of the most beautiful things that can happen in your evolution as a man. It's going to teach you more about yourself than the successes. For me, I have learned more from the failures, more from the mistakes than I have the wins or the successes. The next thing is money will not buy you happiness. It will make life a little bit easier because I've been broke and I've been not broke. Having money makes solving problems easier. It also allows you to basically not stress and worry about money, which is something that each and every one of you needs to fucking figure out sooner rather than later. And that is how to not always think and worry about money. For me, my entire life, up until I had $5,000 in the bank, it was spent worrying about how I was going to pay my bills, how I was going to put gas in my car. When I finally had $5,000 in the bank, I didn't think about money one day. And it was like, oh my God, I felt amazing. And the next day, same thing happened. It was at this point that my brain power, my brain width was free to basically think about the things that I need to think about or to truly move the needle for me professionally and personally. Guys, being broke is no place to be. The next brutal truth is debt is the devil. All right, and I know this is taking a financial spin right now, but I am just dumping what I'm thinking, and you need to hear it. Debt is bad. I know some people be like, there's good debt. No, in my opinion, debt is nothing but a burden to pay somebody else money that you may not have. It's also going to make them rich because you're paying them high interest on the money that they actually loaned you. Debt is bad. When you don't owe people shit, you feel better about yourself. You also are in a position of power. I would recommend get out of credit card debt. It is going to be a burden on you, and you are honestly never going to truly have the financial means to invest or to be financially free while you are straddled with a lot of credit card debt. It literally is making nobody rich other than the credit card companies. And then start investing your extra money. Invest early, invest now. And that's something else I wish I did. I was such an idiot because I didn't have financial literacy because I grew up around broke people. When you grow up around broke people, guess what? You're going to be broke. Unless you take it upon yourself to learn from people that are not broke or learn about money. Gentlemen, it is a language you need to learn to speak. Your health is your number one most valuable asset, period. Without it, nothing else matters. The sooner you start taking better care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, the better off you're going to be. All right, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Health is one of those things that money can't buy more of. It can't buy more time, which is something else you need to understand. Time is your most valuable asset. You've got to use it accordingly. Do not invest this incredibly precious asset in people that don't matter or waste it. You've got to realize at some point that if you are wasting time surfing on social media, looking at porn, all right, talking to people you shouldn't be talking to or hanging out with losers, you got to understand that you are wasting this incredibly precious and most valuable asset. Guys, the deal is life is short. And I guess that's where I want to wrap this up. The older I get, the more prevalent and aware of this fact I become because I see people that get sick, I see people that I lose, and it hurts, and I realize that you are not invincible. When you're young, you think, oh, I'm never going to get sick. You think, oh, I'm always going to be young and have abs forever. Which brings me to something else I just want to mention. Stop abusing yourself. Stop abusing your mind. Stop abusing your body. Stop sleeping with the wrong people. Stop binge drinking. Stop numbing the pain. Stop trying to escape. Life is beautiful, and it is precious. You need to remember that because before you know it, it may be too late, which is the reason I'm going to close this out by telling you to tell somebody today that you love them. Because nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And so on that note, I love you.